Hey guys, Barry here, and welcome to your gaming station, Nintendo Backed Gaming. And here we have Zachary Downer from Or Creative. He is one of the guys here that is making Ira for the Nintendo Switch. I believe this is actually a first time, you're kind of talking about it on a podcast, am I correct?
Yeah, I've never actually talked about this on a podcast before.
Yeah, it is Ira, is it?
Yes, it is definitely IRA, not IRA.
Yeah, I had a laugh about it because, IRA is an Irish thing here in Ireland. It's old history stuff, but...
Yeah. IRA isn't that uncommon of a name here where I'm from, and I didn't know about the Irish Republican Army or anything about that history, so there would be occasionally people that would pop up once we started posting IRA content, and they're like, what do you mean the IRA? And we're like, it's just someone's name, and they're like, what? Like, don't you know what this relates to? And it all depends on where you're from and the culture that surrounds it, because like here, it's just someone's name.
Yeah. How's things with you anyway?
How are things with me anyway? They're pretty good. We're feeling pretty good. Got a little bit of wind in our sails. It's nice to be to have a company like Nintendo take us under their wing a little bit and allow us to become developers for them and release on their platform. It's quite exciting. So we're doing pretty good, and that's like the most recent thing that's happened. So
yeah. Now the big question I wanted to ask you is, are you a fan of Interstellar, the movie?
Yeah, oh yeah, I loved Interstellar. I'm one of the people that wish it was longer.
Oh, because I can just see inspiration. You see that image there, the orange one with the. It looks like to me, it looks like Matthew McConaughey with his two kids when they're younger, with the whole kind of barn scene. That is exactly like Interstellar at the start of the movie.
Gotcha. Now that you point out that, I could see it definitely relating. It had nothing to do with that, and the game has actually been like its main story and everything was in development, before we even saw Interstellar. But that being said, we really did enjoy Interstellar.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't intentional. And I've heard a lot of things, like people see that image and like, oh, this reminds me of Firewatch, or this reminds me of like Kentucky Route Zero, or like I feel like that people have their own associations of what it reminds them of, and like I don't think you guys are like wrong. Obviously there's like some type of connection there, whether it's like you see the atmosphere and you think it looks like Firewatch, or like you said you saw his kids there and it kind of reminded you of Interstellar. So I mean, they're all valid things, but no, we did not intentionally make that happen, like make that connection.
See, I guess the thing with Firewatch, to me the biggest thing there I can see resemblance is the orange color. That's it, and the kind of style.
The atmosphere, like the heavy saturation of color.
Yeah, that's about it though. To be fair.
Yeah. It's it's like everyone, like I said, like everyone has their own association, and I think it wildly varies depending on what context people have. So there you go.
Yeah. To me, Interstellar is the greatest movie I've ever seen of all time, hands down.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen much of like McConaughey's like later stuff, so it's like I just kind of saw him as like a cheesy actor for a while, and then I saw him in Interstellar. It's like when did this happen? When did this switch up happen? He wasn't known for doing that caliber of work, and so, or at least I didn't think he was until I saw Interstellar, and it gave me a totally different view of who he was as an actor.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to say what it is, the spoiler in the middle of the film, but, that surprise with you-know-who, holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah. I could kind of see it coming because it's Matthew McConaughey, because to have, a relationship there, a friendship kind of thing, but...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, like, I've never hated that person so much in my life until what happened in it.
Yeah, well, it's just kind of one of those things. But yeah, definitely enjoyed that film quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so tell people who you are and, talk about Ira as well and your company. Like, how did the company start? When was it founded?
Sure. So, obviously, my name is Zach, and Or Creative started, I think it was around, like, 2013. We started, like, thinking about working in games, per se, but around that time, I started the company doing freelance design work. So, it wasn't game related at all at that point. Now that being said, I've done a lot of game design in the past, but I didn't do it on a professional level. I
Yeah.
know I waited till a little bit later to break in it in like more serious sense. But yeah, Or Creative was a freelance design company, and I just did work for a lot of different companies. And then once I left college, I started working more. I still had that, but I worked for sorry, I'm like choking up here. I worked more for other design studios, and I worked in Switzerland for a little bit. And then when I came back to Michigan after living overseas for a little bit, doing design there, I decided that what better what better time than now to hop into game design. I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but it's something I always had a passion for, and I wasn't doing it. I just didn't hop into it cold. I had some previous experience in the past. I used to do mods for Half-Life 2 and Counter-Strike Source, and so I used to use like their hammer map builder and things like that, and that
Yeah.
really got me going, and that was like a great entry point for me. So this was just like the next logical step, and I brought my good friend and partner in Nick to help out with that, and we've been working nonstop on it for a couple of years now. So I kind of hopped around a little bit there. Did I answer all of your questions? I don't even know. I was just kind of talking.
It's
So you
fine.
let me
Talking's
know if I
good.
you let me know if I missed something because I have a tendency to ramble. Totally
No,
admitting
keep
that right
rambling.
now.
It's good. It's good. Keep it flowing.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure. So that's kind of how Aura got started. It was just a freelance design company, and then we just kept the name out of sheer convenience. And like there's no big story behind it. It's just like I have this thing already going. Might as well just utilize all the paperwork that's already been done, and just continue under that name. So that's how the company originally got together in terms of its name, I guess. But in a more game related sense, or hasn't been a freelance design company for a while. It's just been solely Ira, and it's been all about Ira. So that's where it's currently at right now.
Yeah. So, like, how did the inspiration for for Ira come? Like, was it something you saw? Was it like someone you saw, even something you heard, kind of thing?
Honestly, it wasn't one thing in particular. It started off as a rough idea of a game called Planetoids, which was basically just this small solar system of interconnected planets. And there are some themes that still remain, but very lightly from the original ideas we had. So it started off as this thing called Planetoids. You had these interconnected planets that you could explore, and it wasn't very realistic. It was very surreal. So you kind of hop around between them and just have like really a bizarre time doing it. And I could show you the documents, but we'll just stick with that for now.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, yeah. So we had that, and then we started just spitballing ideas, things that we were interested in, things we liked writing about, and things we liked creating, basically lore about. So we started off with little chunks of lore, and that like everyone has their own writing style, but this worked best for us. Is we just make these really inspired chunks about the world, and then we think about, well, what do these interactions do, and are these interactions something that people would find interesting? Do we find them interesting and like compelling? So we started off with one bit of lore that was about a company called Intellico, which was a 1930s, 1940s telecommunications company, and we threw in a sci-fi element, which was they acquired technology they weren't supposed to have, and how that affected the world around them. So in a very short period of time, this company was making like leaps and bounds in communication and space travel, and that totally pushed the world into not just a technological revolution, but like an early industrial revolution. So it just quickly progressed the world in a way that it never should have been. It never was. And that was kind of like a center point for our story. So we just like that bit of lore, and from there we branched out other bits of lore. Okay, so if you have this huge company and it's taking over stuff, what does that do to the population? What does that do to the mining community? What does that do, for the general labor force, and like in the government? It's like, does the government have any control because this corporate entity now can take over almost anything they want because they have superior power and superior finances? So it kind of redefines America through that lens, and we found that very interesting. So we ran with that idea. So Ira was just a bunch of little chunks of lore, and we picked the ones we liked the best, and then we built from it to create this like kind of interconnected web of like a domino effect. Okay, if this is true, then what does that lead to? And so that's how we built out the general story is by defining the general lore of the world, and then we picked characters within that world in which to play as. So that's how you get to experience that world I was talking about by these characters that are just kind of like living it out. It's their daily life.
Yeah. No, like I found it interesting. I was playing, like as you know, I was playing the demo there on Steam, and like like I was just texting it as I was progressing, and
Yeah.
the parents were gone. It's like, what the hell's going on here, kind of thing. And then
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what happens after, but like I just had this cool vibe of what actually happened then. I really enjoyed it, and then I had to turn it off and talk to you. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I was kind of mentioning to you while you were shooting me some messages, is like that is our old Unity demo, and there are bits and pieces, like, and there's some of them are quite strong that exist from that demo still. But we took the good elements of it and we moved over to Unreal Engine, and when we built an entirely new system based off the same premises, but it works a lot better, it looks a lot better, and it plays a lot better. So it is, there are some similarities, but you could totally talk about that demo and you wouldn't ruin anything because things are different enough that like the stories just lay out differently. It wouldn't spoil it. So if you want to talk about them, you're welcome to do so.
yeah, yeah. Like there, like you start off on the train at the start of the game.
Mhm.
That's Ira's father, if I'm correct.
No, actually. So
Oh,
uh, those are just some homeless drifters sitting in the back of a train. And that's one of the things, like I was kind of mentioning, is like it's not, you don't just play as one character, you play as different characters, and it's more about
yeah,
experiencing the general world instead of just the world through one person's perspective, which we find really fascinating because like the hero is always the person who's like recounting the tale, right? Because like they get to have their own bias on the story, so about how the story plays out. So in this story, um, it's not just one individual, it's a lot of different people. So you're looking at in that scene these homeless drifters and them just talking about the world in which they currently live and what that means for them. Uh, so yeah, so you experience them there, but you also experience like Ira's family, and in some other later parts of the game and stuff, you'll experience like the point of view from like Intellico, like their CEOs, and like like what they're doing, and all the gray areas in between about what morality is, and you know maybe
yeah,
you catch my drift, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. Now, can I ask, was the game always intended for Switch, or was it just PC at the moment when you first started making the game? Did you have any plans down the line for a physical copy, PS4, Xbox One type of thing?
Okay, so
Loads of questions.
when
Sorry.
no, you're totally fine. So we had actually Ira got kickstarted. I mean, I know you just kind of ran into Ira, so just let you know, like Ira got kickstarted a little over a year ago, and the original plan was to do PC, Mac, Linux, and we'd progress to other platforms. So we are currently releasing for the Xbox One. That's a for sure thing. It might be a little bit, like we have the dev kits and stuff, and we're testing on them, so that's fine. It might be a little bit after the PC release, but the Switch release wasn't, it's not something we had planned. But once we heard about the Switch, and we started like looking at the potential to put Ira on it and what type of indie games were there, like the type of culture that would be on it. Like we immediately were like, yes, like we want to be on this. Like this fits our needs, and we can totally extend portions of the game to fit like HD Rumble and like
Yeah.
the capacitive touch display. Like it would be a really good fit for Ira, and so we're planning on releasing Ira simultaneously with our PC release stuff. So like on Mac, Linux, PC, that type of thing. So it's all going to release at the same time, and we didn't originally intend it to be that way. It's just turning out that way, and we are very happy to be indies, like Nintendo Switch developers, and be able to release in the console. I think it was they said there's gonna be around 60-ish indies releasing on the console this year, and we're one of them, and we feel very fortunate that we're able to do that. So we're
Yeah.
very excited.
Oh,
Um,
congrats anyway.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Now I'm being nosy here. How long have you known, that that you've been that you're going to get the Switch dev kit kind of thing? Was it? I'm guessing last year, or was it just like this year you got the chance to bring it over, or is that
Oh,
something you can talk about as well?
yeah, I can talk about that. To be honest with you, we were talking with Nintendo about a month ago, and
Jesus Christ.
well, it was like cold call. Like I reached out to them before they were asking for people. Like normally, like Nintendo had to approach you, and that was it. But I did a lot of research, and I found the guy on Twitter who was handling their indie stuff, and I just did a cold tweet directly to him, like I just pitched to him before they even asked for pitches from indie developers, and I just threw him some imagery, and we started, he hit me up and he started talking to me a little bit, and he started doing a couple direct messages back and forth, and I started to give him a feel for what we're going for, and um, I he sent me through some gates. He's a gatekeeper, and so I got through a couple more gatekeepers, and I worked my way through the system, and until about 3 days ago, which I sent a proposal into them. It was like an actual like PDF that outlined everything and what our intentions were, and just different, more in-depth shots of the game that aren't released yet, and all that type of stuff. And took them around like a month to get back to us. About 3 days ago, they got back to us, and they're like, "That's it, you guys are in. You're gonna be on the Switch, and we're excited. And here, like here's the portal. You can order dev kits and stuff." And we're like, "This is amazing," So it all happened in a relatively short period of time, and they didn't reach out to us. We found them because we're pretty unknown. We're getting more known, and we're having some like nice like Let's Play people like Markiplier and stuff who like are hitting us up and playing our stuff, which is really good. But yeah, they definitely didn't contact us. I just cold called them basically, and I just kept at it, and like kept giving them content and showing where we're going with it, and they liked it, and so that's all it was.
Like, excuse the language, but holy shit, like that's amazing.
But
like
you gotta try,
like that seems so quick though. Like if you think about it, it's so quick.
They must. I mean, I have no context to know what quick is.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's like it's really challenging for me to know if like, are we like doing really well, and this is like
big time.
that, or if like anyone can do that. It's just you have to have like you have to just talk to them and show them what you have, and it's like, and as long as it looks decent, like they're like good, have at it. Like I'm not really sure, but I know there's only 60-ish developers, so that makes me think that it's like a really good thing that there's obviously like a limited amount of game releases, and they're going to promote us too, which is really good. Like it's not like we're just going to be a developer, release our game, and that's it. It's like they have like a portal and things set up for us, so they'll help. Like I can talk to them, and they will give me help in terms of marketing, and they'll also, when our game is releasing, they will help promote us, so we don't get lost in the mix, which is really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I can't go into specifics, but
yeah, that's understandable.
Just in general, I can say like Nintendo isn't just leaving their indie developers high, like out in the cold. Like they've seriously taken a different direction, and they're really trying to make it work for not just them, not just themselves, but for the developer as well. They have a really good stance on like you succeed, they succeed, and I like that. I like that a lot. It's great.
Yeah, like this here, you don't have to comment on this. You don't have to agree or disagree with me on this, but like if you look at the Wii U, to me, it's an amazing system, but the system sales-wise is flopped, and like it ended up being like a big indie box for me anyway, and like loads of great games came to the system, and I like that Nintendo is really pushing out for developers to come to Switch, and make it this amazing platform even bigger again.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say like just kind of reiterate like Nintendo is heading in a good direction, and I personally like the fact that they're curating things a little bit more because it's not just about having a lot of games. It's about having a lot of good quality games where they can, keep a little bit of a higher entry bar to let those people in, and they can also help promote those independent developers and have continued relationships with them. Because like a lot of like a lot of platforms, it's just like maybe there's more for the Wii U. It's like everyone's on board, and when everyone's on board, it's like people kind of get lost in the mix, and it's hard to find maybe new and interesting experiences that you wouldn't before. So I don't know. I think there's trade-offs to everything. It just kind of is what it is.
Yeah,
but, I do like the way that they're promoting their indies. So that's.
See, I think with the Wii U, because there wasn't many third parties on board with the system because it was just so hard to develop for. So I think they're, pretty much allowing a lot of people, who wanted to make a game, come on board with the eShop. So, no, I do understand, I guess, quality control, if that's the word to use.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
Yeah. But I'm just so happy to see games, like yourself, people like yourself, actually being able to develop a game. Like my friends over at Zoink Games, I was just so buzzed when I heard Flippin' Death coming for Switch. Uh,
Flippin' Death.
yeah, it's from Zoink Games. They made Secret to the Man and Zombie Vikings. Did you ever hear them
Flippin'
before?
Death. I haven't heard of Flippin' Death.
Right.
Although I just pulled up an image and I've just googled it real quick.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I think did Nintendo promote them on their indie reel?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's where I saw it then.
yeah.
This looks kind of familiar.
Yeah, they're from Sweden, and they're like pretty much best mates with Image and Form. SteamWorld Dig 2 is coming out as well.
Okay, yeah. Yes,
So
I saw the preview for this one.
yeah, yeah,
It looks cool. It looks really cool.
yeah. Like Flippin' Death, it's a spiritual successor to Stick It to the Man. You should check that game out on Wii U
Stick
or
to the man.
yeah, it's on Steam as well. Yeah. So what systems have you got anyway yourself?
Myself, I have. I mean, I have a whole range of some other ones. I don't have a Wii U. I skipped the Wii U, entirely, which is it's just how it went. But I have I have a really nice PC. I have a Vive from Valve. I got like a developer kit because I do VR game stuff as well.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah, so they hooked me up with that at Steam Dev Days in Seattle, which is really nice. I have a Xbox One. Did I say I have I have an Xbox 360. I have GameCube. I have a Wii. I have I have a 3DS. I have a normal DS. Um, yeah, so I just like have a mix of consoles, but I did skip over the Wii U, and my Switch is gonna be here pretty soon. So excited about that.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll add you after when you get it. Yeah. So okay, in your opinion, what would you call the greatest game of all time and why? Except
Oh
your own.
God, gotcha. No, I would never say it anyway. Thankfully, my ego isn't that big, and I can tell you that it is not the greatest game ever made, but it has some really enjoyable points.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, what is the greatest? I guess for that's it's a very personal question. It depends on what it is. Jeez, I can tell you some of the most impactful games I've ever
Yeah,
played.
yeah. No, go on ahead. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so uh, and this is like kind of stereotypical, like everyone's played this, but I love the Ocarina of Time, and like the N64 was like when I was a kid was like my heyday for video games. Like
Oh, it
I
was a
just loved
beast.
it. Right, I just loved
Yeah.
it, and like I got it for Christmas one year, and as a nerd, it like changed my life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I really really enjoyed it, and I played like that, and, like GoldenEye, and like just like I said, there were just classic stuff like that. Wind Waker is a huge favorite of mine. Not just from a gameplay standpoint, but from a technical standpoint of how it was created. Like I like programming shaders and like optimizing stuff because I have like a weird it's like a weird fun thing that I like to do as well. Like some people find that boring, but like I enjoy the part of like creating shaders, creating a visual style, and like learning how to do that. And the Wind Waker is like a great example of making something that's beautiful on really limited hardware. And there are like people have broken it down online. You can look at these technical specs where people have taken the GameCube version of Wind Waker and they've just torn it apart, and you can see like how many draw calls things are making, like potential, like just like they speculate on like how the lighting was done, and like just like these really crafty ways that Nintendo made this open world on like the GameCube, and then like how a system that wasn't that powerful could still be able to do those types of things. So I love the Wind Waker on a lot of levels. It's just like I loved the gameplay, but I also really enjoyed just the technical aspect of it.
Yeah.
Um, so I'd say that was a pretty influential game as well. And there's some like classic PC stuff, like Half-Life 2. I loved the story of that, and like that really got me into wanting like that game alone wanted to get me into game creating like in a more serious fashion. So like I started using Hammer and messing with the Half-Life 2 levels that were available, and then I kind of branched out to do like Counter-Strike maps because I started playing that, and so um, there's like a grab bag there for you of just like influential games on a lot of different levels.
Yeah. What about Gary's Mod?
I loved Gary's Mod. I would take the little fan boat, and I would add balloons to it to make it neutrally buoyant, and I had little can thrusters on the back, and I would fly around everywhere.
Nice.
I thought it was the coolest thing.
See, the problem with that game is, for me, like, there's this cool Star Wars, map you can get, but
Mhm.
it takes forever to download, and which puts me off playing it.
Gotcha. It'd probably be a lot. I mean, I don't know when's the last time you played it, but if you have a decent interconnection compared to what you did back in the day. I mean, if I tried to, like, I had like DSL, like the slowest thing you could possibly get, and it was rough. But I imagine today, like, I'm running like what 100, 155 megabits a second. Like, it would probably be a lot easier to download stuff and and fiddle with things.
Yeah, but like I say, it's gotten bigger, the map itself, so which is
Oh,
more hassle.
gotcha.
Because Star Wars Episode 7 came out, and Rogue
Mhm.
One, so I guess it's always upgrading kind of thing. So,
Okay.
uh,
Yeah,
would you be a fan of
that's
Star
true.
Wars?
Am I a fan of Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Star Wars, and then I know you're not supposed to like both, but I also like Star Trek. I think I was more
Oh.
of a. I know you're not supposed to. I like them both for different reasons. I'm just not a very black and white person. um, but yeah, I guess if I had to choose, I think like growing up, I watched a lot of Star Trek,
Yeah, yeah.
Next Generation to be specific. But
Never
I
really got
definitely.
into Star Trek. I don't know. I just never really got into it. But I do like Spock, I guess. But that's only
Uh,
because of Big Bang Theory, which kind of made it mainstream on TV.
okay, so like you kind of got introduced to it via that show.
Yeah, I guess who is it? What's it called, the actor again who plays Spock?
Bu- 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 I don't recall. I'm sorry, I don't recall off the top of
Yeah,
my
yeah. But
head.
like he's been on the TV show as well, anyway. On Big Bang
Yes.
Theory. So
Okay.
and like they've done like certain spoofs and stuff. Just kind of cool. And Star Wars, things as well. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. It's not really it's more of a teaser right now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I watched it and I don't know. I'm definitely excited. I'm not really sure where they're gonna take it per se. Did you like did you like the last one that came out? I mean, did it like some people were kind of like, eh, but I'm
Force
like,
Awakens or Rogue One?
oh, I'm talking about Force Awakens.
Yeah, I
Um,
personally liked it. Yeah,
Okay, I enjoyed it too. Now, people like Rogue One. A lot of people liked Rogue One, and I thought it was okay. I felt like I'd seen the movie before, which maybe that's not so weird.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but like it's also interconnected. Like like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I feel like I've seen this before.
Deja
I
vu,
don't know.
probably.
Yeah, I enjoyed them.
Yeah, yeah,
It wasn't like my top one, but I still enjoyed Rogue One.
yeah. I think I saw it 4 times in the cinema. Rogue One. Yeah,
4 times.
yeah.
So you must have a lot of different friends, or you just really enjoyed it, or maybe it's a combination of both.
Maybe both.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I just love Star Wars. Like, I'll go to see it with different friends, kind of thing. But
Yeah, yeah. Did you
yeah.
see it in IMAX?
I yeah, I did see it in IMAX. Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty cool.
I wish I would have saw it in IMAX just because it would kind of been a little bit more over the top experience.
Yeah, like the whole sound is amazing, kind of thing.
Yeah, the visuals, the sound.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm jealous.
Yeah, so I see you can pre-order Ira on your website as well.
You can do the
Humble bundle, yeah. HB.
You can do the humble bundle order if you'd like, and there's still some tiers left over from our Kickstarter that are on there. So it's like you can get your name engraved on a plaque in game with a bunch of other people, and like some people pick that up once in a while. But yeah, you can totally do that. You can totally pre-order it on our webpage right now, but it will be available on Steam, the Humble Store, and then it looks like it'll be on GOG as well.
Yeah. Now tell me this: are you making these Kickstarter pledges? Is it the right word to use? I don't know. Can you get these options for Switch as well later on down the line? You think?
What do you mean per se? Because like if it'll be put in like there's only be one version of the game and it'll just be exported out to the Switch, so it'll all be
Okay,
the
right.
same.
No, like for
Is that what you
talk's
meant?
sake.
Or-
Yeah, like see the way you can get your name, in game. For talk's sake, like you pay the extra few euro, or euro here, to get your name in game. Is that
Mhm.
possible for Switch, or just going to be, just standard edition for PC kind of thing.
Okay. It's there's just going to be one version, and then it's going to be the same version that's on the Switch. So it's not like there's like Switch specific. It's just like if you get your name in the game, it's going to be on all the versions. Does that make sense?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it'll be across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, we never even considered doing Switch specific because that was kind of like a remnant of our Kickstarter, and people just enjoyed that, and we wanted to give them the opportunity to keep doing a couple of those backer levels if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like there, if you get the Pilgrimage Mission Control, you get the obviously the digital download of the game, Act 1 Pilgrimage, Lithic Mission Manual PDF, digital download of the original soundtrack, poster PDFs, and your name memorialized forever in game.
Yeah, memorialized.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I can't talk.
Don't worry about it, man. It's totally fine. Yeah, you get your name memorialized in game. So there's a lot of different options there for picking it up. Now, it's interesting because like obviously like you can't really pre-order the Switch version. I mean, I don't think I have the ability to. I'm not familiar with their system yet, and I don't know like how their key setup works. If you can do some type of distribution outside of like it obviously it's going to be put through their market, but I don't know if I can like distribute keys that people can then unlock on the like e-store type thing. I'm not sure how that fully works yet, to be honest with you. I need to read over a lot of their paperwork.
Yeah. Tell us about the soundtrack. Like, who's doing the music for the game anyway?
It's a combination of people. So let's see. There's more normal like classic like in-game music, but it's pretty subtle, and it fits kind of like it's like a weird mix of like ambient electronic music and like southern sensibilities. So like one of my buddies calls it space banjo.
Space banjo.
Well, it kind of bridges the gap in the game, or the divide in the game between like the 1930s and 40s and this industrial / technological revolution that they have. So there's this weird mix in the world, and so we're trying to bring that into it. And so we have like more standardized music, and myself and my partner and friend Nick, who is a lot more into music, he handles a lot of the more instrumentation, and I do more of the technical, more like cleanup work and a little more of the electronic side of things. And then we have a guy out of Canada who was actually one of our Kickstarter backers who just wanted to make music for the game. And so like I don't normally like like people like like a lot of people like, oh, I want to be in the game, or like I want to contribute something, and sometimes people like have the ability to do so, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But he like had a lot of sound examples, and he was like sharing stuff, and he just was so into it that I was like, I can't not let you do this.
Felt sorry for him.
No, I didn't feel sorry for him at all. He just had the will, and he was willing to actually create content and share it and like get feedback on it, and it sounded good. So it sounded like what we needed. So it's like, hey man, so it's like a mix of the three. It's mostly Nick and I, but like I just released a video on YouTube that showcases me building like in like 60 seconds, like building one of the scenes in game called Kettle Bottom. And I threw in some slide guitar that he made, and it fits really well. So so it's David, it's Nick, and it's myself. And it's mostly Nick and I, and then David just kind of steps in and tries to contribute when he can. And so far he has been. So it's pretty cool. And we didn't expect that. So hopefully, we can get him more into it as well. But between the group of us, I guess the three of us, like we're hoping to produce a solid soundtrack. Now you can listen to some of our sound samples, and I don't know if you've heard any of them, but we're hoping to create more consistent piece that we can release as an actual soundtrack at the end.
Oh, cool.
I have confidence in our ability to do this.
Yeah. So we're about 2 months away from E3. Have you any plans to, I don't know, are you heading over to like a booth or something? Are you going to be actually attending the event yourself? Are you looking forward to any games to see that might come up on the big screen?
Gotcha. In terms of IRA, we don't currently have plans for that. It's just there's just a lot that goes into that, and there's a lot of monetary investment as well. And who knows? Maybe now that we're with Nintendo, maybe we'll have more opportunities to contribute some of our work. We'll see what happens. Um, so on that side of things, we're not really gonna show up anywhere. Not planned anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
And then in terms of like other developers, it's like I'm sure if I took a step back and I wasn't talking to you, I'd have like 1,000 different games that I'd be interested in. But
Yeah.
now that like you asked me, I'm like I like games. I play games all the time. Like, what am I looking forward to at E3? It's like I don't know. I know it's not at this be like a huge thing at the C3, but Breath of the Wild just came out. I'm really looking forward to grabbing a copy of that. Super excited. And then there's going to be DLC, which will probably showcase it E3 as well.
Yeah.
For that, I know I wanna see where they're going to take it, because there has never been a Zelda game that's been updatable before. So I think that's something that's new for the franchise, as far as I know. That's something that's entirely new. So it's just like generally interesting. There's some VR games that I'm interested in. There's a Rick and Morty game that's coming out at the end of this. Maybe it's actually in a few days. Virtual reality. I don't know if you like watch Rick and Morty, but yeah, I'm very curious to see how that's gonna turn out. I'm excited to play the Rick and Morty game, just and check out how they're handling stuff in VR. What else is there? I'm drawing a blank. That's all right. That's totally all right.
Yeah.
It'll pop back in like a couple minutes. But are you excited for anything specific at this E3?
Well, I'm hoping. Well, I'm pretty sure we will. But if Nintendo don't do this, they're stupid for not showing Mario Odyssey at E3 this year.
Yes. Okay. See, there's a cool game. There's a game that looks like it's gonna be pretty interesting. It looks almost steampunky in some of the images I saw, which I thought was kind of like, because I wasn't sure where it was gonna go yet. It's like what is this? And they were very unrefined, and Nintendo like admitted that Super Mario Odyssey was still early on. So it'll be interesting to see where they take it, and if there's a little bit more polish and finesse on it. That's for sure.
Yeah, but like I've heard reports as well online that the game is finished, but I don't know what the story is. Maybe we'll see a demo this year at E3 that people will get to play.
Finished. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
but don't take my word for it though. But that's what I read online. But who knows what's true or not.
Right. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. I would definitely like to see where they're going to take things in that department.
Yeah. Now, I think as well, personally, I'm looking forward to seeing The Last of Us Part 2 from Naughty Dog.
That's one game that I've kicked myself in the butt for not being able to play. Like, I don't own a PS3 or PS4.
Yeah.
So and I don't think it's available on Steam. And if it is,
no.
Yeah. So it's like one of those things that like I want to play it. I heard it was amazing. I saw the remastered version come out, and it's like I just don't have the ability to play it at this moment. And if I'm keeping a very tight budget because I'm working on Ira full time, so I don't have I just don't have the ability to grab certain things right now, which sucks. But gotta do what you gotta do.
So guys, buy his game so we can buy a PS4 Pro and Last of Us Remastered and Part 2.
God, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
I know, yeah. Yeah, Last of Us Part 2, I'm looking forward to it myself. To me, the first one was the greatest story I've ever played in a video game. Better than Saving the Princess.
All right. I don't know, man. Like, I've just heard so many good things about it. I just want to play it.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you might be able to play it on PC for PlayStation Now, if I'm correct, is available in the States.
What is it?
PlayStation Now, is that what it's called?
PlayStation Now, or did you say PlayStation?
Yeah, PlayStation Now, NOW. I think you can get that for PC, and you can like play PS3 games on it as well.
Really?
I think so, yeah, if you look that up. See, it's not available here in Ireland, if I'm correct. I think it's available in UK, but not in Ireland for whatever strange reason.
Stream PS4 games. I did not know that was a thing, but I just kind of like pulled it up real quick, and I'm seeing that is a thing. Huh.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll have to look more into it. But if that's the case, then I'm gonna grab my Steam controller and I'm gonna play The Last of Us.
Let me guess. Playing Last of Us with is it an actual Steam controller or is it an Xbox controller you have?
Well, I have an Xbox controller. I have a Steam controller. I'm sure I could play with either or, unless it's because I'm assuming it doesn't have mouse keyboard specific controls. That's an assumption. I
I
really
doubt
don't
it.
know though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just used to the Steam controller, so I think I could probably get it to work with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, one last question before we wrap it up. I guess. Sorry for ruining your day.
No, you're fine, man. Honestly, like I'm glad this is kind of like this random impromptu thing, and it seems to be
Yeah.
going just fine. So it's cool.
Now, will we see any Ira amiibo down the line?
Ira Amiibo. I don't think so. That'd be kind of fun though, wouldn't it? Maybe I can whip up a 3D printer file and Arduino a chip out so you can get an Ira Amiibo. But realistically, I don't think that would happen unless Nintendo does like a limited run of like their favorite indie games. We happen to be one of those. So
Yeah. But like what's amazing for Switch as well, it's like any company that brings a game out for Switch is in great hands, as in you can play the game on the go anywhere you want and you get the full console experience, the full, home console experience. And you get to play it on the TV, without like there's no delay or anything when you're taking it out of the dock. It's just amazing.
yeah, I love it. And it's like technology is finally in a place where they're able to do that, and they're able to do it right. It looks like they're doing pretty well. Their sales are looking good. They launched with Breath of the Wild, which it might be one of the highest rated Zelda games of all time. So they have a good start. Now, hopefully they can keep the good games coming. It looks like they have Splatoon 2 coming out. That's a game I'm looking forward to, is Splatoon 2, and being able to play that when it comes out.
Yeah.
See, it's like there's all these games, and I see them like, this looks good, and it's like, but you asked me on the spot. It's like, I don't even know anymore. My mind goes blank. But yeah, Splatoon 2 I think it's coming out at the end of this year, and then there's obviously like Super Mario Odyssey, which will be out soon enough.
Hopefully.
So if they can so like they have great technology, and that combined with a good game lineup, and if they can keep that going, then the Switch just might be the standard format for Nintendo, and the Switch will do really well. And like you'll see a Switch 2 in the future, maybe other game consoles. Like technology moves so quickly that maybe we might see future consoles from Microsoft or Sony just dropping the home console and doing a hybrid in between.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows, man?
Yeah. Now, do you think Nintendo was trying to do this with the Wii U, the whole Switch concept, but got it right this time?
You can definitely. I feel like that Nintendo has you can always see like an evolution, like some connection to their past product, and it's clear that like the Wii U pad, like it just looks like a really bulky Switch, and some of the technology of being able to try to play games in your home on it and not be directly connected to the TV. I think that was like the bridge. It's like they didn't have the technology to do it at the time, but now they do, so they could fully realize that vision. And maybe that was their end game. Maybe the Switch was the end game the entire time, and the Wii U is the best they could do at the moment, given the how much things cost and just the general tech at the time. So maybe that's how it went down.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Much appreciated.
Yeah, man. Thanks very much. I'm Zach with Or Creative, and I will be out near the end of this year on the Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PC, Mac, Linux.
Cool. So where can we find you on social media anyway?
Yeah, so you can hit us up on @IraGame on Twitter. There's always our website, www.iragame.com. And those are some pretty good avenues. You can always pre-order the game on our website if you'd like.
Cool. I will make sure to leave links in the description below for you to get this game. Check out some content. I'm sure down the line I'll have some awesome content for you all to see. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. You can check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Vine, Twitch, and for more Nintendo and Nindies, keep it right here. Thanks for watching, and as always guys, stay fresh.